Basically, the Great Plains, which the Census Bureau somehow defines as Midwestern, endured a winter storm that continued on and off for 6 months. I bet Laura Ingalls...
Wait, what? 6 months of hard winter? That's insane. Well, in other hand, you don't need to buy a fridge for your house, so there is something positive. What's up, my friend? Today I'll be reacting to British blizzards and got nothing on America. Oh boy. This should be interesting, but before I go into that, can I ask you for one thing? If you can leave a like on this video, thank you so much, my friend. This is the best way to show support. If you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. Have that in consideration. Now, link for the original video in my description. You guys end up recommending this one quite a lot. Lawrence, what an amazing content creator. Give him some love. That said, let's play it.
Well, it's that time of year again when America becomes a desolate hellscape.
Okay.
And as of 5 minutes ago, my weather alerts are saying that there's a blizzard heading straight for Chicago. Wait, no, 5 hours ago.
But back when I lived in Britain, a blizzard was a bit like the census. You only had to worry about it once every 10 years.
In Chicago, I'm already on my 4th blizzard in 8, and that excludes trips to Dairy Queen.
Wait a sec, is that true? Already in the 4th blizzard? This year, this winter season, better saying, that's crazy. By the way, my friends, I have been actually getting a lot of comments since I've been reacting to weather type of videos that America right now is freezing. Is this true? I believe it's true, but is really that bad? I think that's the best question. And look, not that my words will make you warm, you know, but... please stay safe. Honestly, I wish you guys all the best, as you guys are aware. But yeah, this is the time of the year that can be problematic if you live in regions that get really cold. I'm sorry, and I know America have a lot of them. Here in Portugal, yes, today is a bit cold, but nothing compared with you guys. So please stay safe.
Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to buzzards.
Okay.
Blizzard.
Okay, actually, I was thinking about one thing that I forgot. Please leave the state where you are from and the temperature there. You can live in Fahrenheit right now. I know more or less how to translate to Celsius, but yeah, leave a comment, because I'm actually quite curious to see how different states are doing right now in America. I suspect states like Montana, you know, North Dakota, South Dakota are quite cold, but what about California? What about Texas? You know, I'm curious.
And since you are likely snowed in yourself, why not begin your new binge? If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, do that now.
Already did, my friend.
In the meantime, allow me to give you insight into North American blizzards while simulating one. It's the best I could do at such short notice. The truth is, while winters are generally getting less severe in the Windy City, I still consider blizzards a staple of Midwestern winters. It's perhaps fitting then that the very word blizzard skyrocketed in use following one particular Midwestern season, the hard winter of 1880 to 1881. And if you think I'm being hyperbolic, that's literally what the event identifies as on Wikipedia. Basically, the Great Plains, which the Census Bureau somehow defines as Midwestern, endured a winter storm that continued on and off for 6 months. I bet Laura Ingalls...
Wait, what? 6 months of hard winter? That's insane. Well, in other hand, you don't need to buy a fridge for your house, so there is something positive.
Wilder's parents were like, I hope you're taking notes. And she was. The storm was so bad that Wilder recalled it 60 years later in her book, The Long Winter. But whether it was long or hard, it was extremely cold, to the extent that none of the men felt comfortable making sex jokes out of this sentence. Sections of the Transcontinental Railroad were completely buried. Even Frances Bourgeois would have been mad about that. As Wilder herself wrote in The Long Winter,
Railroads, they're good to have, but the trouble is folks get to depend on them.
Some more than others. Many set up their lives within reach of the railroad in order to receive critical shipments. During the hard winter, those very often never came.
Wait a second, are you guys actually aware of this, not story, this is a fact, but yeah, the hard winter? Is this where Game of Thrones got inspired to say the winter is coming? Dude, that's insane. I wasn't. Oh man, America. In America, everything happens here. Not here. There. That's crazy.
Clearly, in 2024, blizzards aren't the same problem they once were, especially since I have
Thank
central
God.
heating and a Prius. But as somebody who grew up in the Seattle of Europe, Midwestern blizzards are still a shock to the system. Firstly, they bring a lot of snow in a very short space of time. Secondly, you receive weather alerts that are so poorly formatted it looks like the storm hit them. And after reading it for the 7th time, I managed to glean the following information. Number 1, there will be heavy snow. I think we got that memo. Number 2, travel could be very difficult to impossible. Which is all good and well to note while sipping coffee in the comfort of your new studio. Less so when your home is 100 miles away and you're sitting in the passenger seat of a Prius.
Actually, let's run it back.
But that is what happened to me and my wife in northern Indiana exactly a few years ago approximately. We had taken a once-in-a-lifetime vacation to the bountiful kingdom of Indianapolis. By then, nothing more than a snow-covered dystopia. After our stay came and went, we braved the snow, still relatively light at this point, and headed back to Chicago. All seemed to be going well until we pulled into a McDonald's, which is where my problems always seem to start. And as I
Yeah, that's already a mistake. I'm sorry. McDonald's, Burger King, much better. Oh man, the people leaving these likes right now. And by the way, before you guys put Burger King, much better, Five Guys or Chic Shack or something that you guys have there, I just have McDonald's and Burger King here. So between those two, I go Burger King.
Be going well until we pulled into a McDonald's, which is where my problems always seem to start. And as I bit into my filet-o-fish, something didn't feel right, and I'm not just talking about the bones. A poorly formatted alert entered my inbox bearing the words, "Travel could be very difficult to impossible." And at that very moment, almost as if I'd embellished the timing of it to move the story along, the snow went completely and utterly a little bit silly. The cars in front became invisible, which between that and the slippery roads probably accounted for several accidents. Thankfully, we were not among them. As traffic slowed down to a crawl, or in some cases a slide, we found ourselves having to make a decision. Press on to Chicago, knowing we wouldn't be home until June, or pull over and wait out the storm at Denny's. We did the latter, even if our server Debbie wasn't happy that I'd snuck in McNuggets. 1 hour.
Okay, but jokes aside, this can be really scary, actually. Jesus Christ.
And 1,246 calories later, the snow halted and we slowly made our way home. Until today, I'd not told anybody that story, except for Debbie, who offered her sympathies in no way whatsoever. Of course, snow isn't even the worst part of a blizzard. The worst part about blizzards is the use of the word snowmageddon by American news anchors, but it's also the wind. Because something...
Wait, what? Snowmageddon? From Armageddon? That's crazy. What is that?
The use of the word snowmageddon by American news anchors, but it's also the wind. Because something that I didn't tell you about today's poorly formatted weather alert is that it predicted that the wind would reach 45 miles per hour. Whether or not this was accurate doesn't matter, because once the winds exceed 25, your face begins to hate you. Between the snow, the wind, and concerned calls from my Aunt Cynthia, it's easy to forget the most exciting part: the degree to which the snow settles. And when I say most exciting part, I'm really paraphrasing my dog Arthur, who is under the mistaken belief that all of this is the greatest thing that has ever happened. What he doesn't know is that...
Hot take. Get ready, my friends. We don't deserve dogs. Those creatures are amazing.
But it's us humans who have to deal with the fallout. Whether it's shoveling off the balcony over concerns it may collapse into the mudroom below. I've just realised that I've been dropping all of this snow onto our outdoor grill. Or remembering the exact location of ankle-breaking potholes that this adorable little created. Or figuring out a plan for when all of this melts. Because something that I forgot to mention about the hard winter of 1881 is that, much like the trains, it came to a grinding halt. Spring very suddenly brought about warm temperatures, and the people most affected by the blizzards now had to contend with widespread flooding. So I just hope that Sunday isn't
Oh, I never thought about that. No, but the regular storms don't lead to floods. Not storms, blizzards, I'm sorry. That one was a very specific case, right? Oh, but I never thought about that, actually.
unseasonably warm.
Again, I don't deal with blizzards in my city. Zero, basically.
Otherwise my basement might leak a little bit. I have good news and bad news.
The good news is my basement's fine.
The bad news is my basement is fine because it is minus 9 degrees Fahrenheit outside. For context, that's 9 degrees more frigid than London's coldest ever temperature. In Chicago, this is known as an annual tradition. And that brings me on to my own annual tradition, which is to tell my audience that despite everything, I'm going to embrace winter this year. Well, that ends today. No more toxic positivity, no more "isn't snow fun?" I've had it. Instead, I'm going to embrace misery. Cold, hard misery. Thanks for watching. No, I'm being told we can't finish with that. Back to Lawrence in the audio booth. Thanks, Lawrence. Now, January might be the Satan of calendar months, but if those who experienced the hard winter of 1881 were still alive today, it would be a miracle because nobody lives that long. But if they were, they'd probably marvel at how far we've come in weather preparedness, and how we in the 21st century take for granted electricity and heating systems because we've never known anything different.
That's
and how
true.
the American office should have finished after Michael left. I mean, that's got nothing to do with this, but they would think that. Anyway, for the first time in as many days, I'm sitting here in my basement hiding from sub-zero temperatures. If you are doing the same thing or happen to be impacted by the big freeze, I raise an invisible glass to you and hope that we get through this the way that grown humans should, by just being sensible and wearing a coat. Thank you again to my patrons who never got to see me on this week's secret live stream because the big freeze hit my internet connection.
Okay.
However, if you would like to become a patron or a ponderer of Lost in the Pond, you can do so today at patreon.com/lostinthepond or by clicking the join button below. Until the
Okay, great video. I mean, everything that Lawrence does tends to be quite fun to react, to watch. Final thoughts on this. I mean, what can I say? America, yeah, is quite different than my country. And I'm not talking about culture difference, because that I believe we are more similar than sometimes we realize. But the weather, it's really different. That's really different. I even have a take that I actually believe people that deal with these so extreme weather conditions, they become tougher people. I really believe that because, you know, when I go to my work, I take my car, everything is okay, I put my music, here we go. There is no snow, there is no ice. Ice can happen from time to time, but it's rare. Can you imagine me leaving my garage, looking at my car? Okay, my car was inside of my garage, never mind. But, okay, I completely destroyed this story. God damn it. But okay, outside of my garage, there is a bunch of snow. I have to be... That would be a nightmare. Can we agree with that? And in one end, I'm lucky that I don't deal with snow. But like I said, and now a bit jokes aside, I hope you guys are well, because since I tend to read the comments, seems like America is facing a crazy winter. I could be wrong, but at least it's the perception I'm getting. So please stay safe, my friends. And that's it for today, my friends. Hope you end up enjoying this video. If that's the case, do not forget to leave a like. Also consider to subscribe if you are new to my channel. And also let me remember you about one thing. I have a Patreon community. I put videos there a bit earlier than I put on YouTube. So if you want to support me and have access to early content, go to my Patreon. I will leave a link on my description. Take a look at that. You can also scan the QR code you'll be seeing here, and that's it.